Hello and welcome to KingTech Coding Clinic once again. And in this tutorial, we're going to look at how we're going to create our learning software, or in other words, chatbot in Scratch programming. So, like I said, it's going to be a software or a sample bot which we're going to feed with simple questions with simple and short answers, and then it will prompt the user to with those series of questions, and then when the user enters them very well or correctly, then the gestures are there to show that you are right. If it is wrong too, you will see it. So that is how it's going to be. So without wasting much time, let's start. And this was the zip file I was referring to on the Telegram channel. So do well and then get it downloaded on your PC, then you extract it. Just to do that, just click on this and right click and then go to extract all. Then you click extract. So you have it in here. This is the folder. The moment you extract it, you have the folder display on your desktop. You can just double click to open it, and then you have the file in there. So just launch this file and then be good to go. So this is the file we're going to use as our bot, and we're going to feed it with questions, instructions, and other things that will make it functionable and then entertaining. Good. So, and then there is one thing I would like to clarify. It's just a quick disclaimer. You know, Scratch has limited us on some features, um, unlike other programming languages where we can keep track of some things like, let's say, um, case-sensitive letters or case-sensitive words and all that. Scratch hasn't provided those features yet. Maybe in the near future they will do that. So we have to be very careful on how these things work. So basically, all we are going to do, let's just make sure we follow the instructions very well and do exactly that. If we fail to do that, our program might not run as expected. So let's try as much as possible to follow the instructions. So in order to make it lively and then entertaining, we're going to give it the instructions that the user must follow to be able to become successful when answering questions posed or posed by the bot. So that is that. Like I said, let me give you some simple example. Um, a question like anything that has weight and occupies space in science, the answer is matter, right? Good. Now, when we feed in the answer to our bot, and then we spell the matter with small m, that is the m starting with a lowercase letter, that is small m, and then maybe the user enters the capital M, automatically Scratch will detect it as what? Wrong answer. Isn't that funny? So these are some of the limitations I'm talking about. So with this, we have to let the user know that we have to give some instructions that the bot will give you so that you'll be able to follow these instructions and know that aside proper nouns and then acronyms, all answers must be provided in lowercase and nothing else. And also let them know that words that are spelled maybe uh, um, matter is what? M-A-T-T-E-R, right? If you spell it M-A-T-E-R, omitting just one T, it means your answer is what? Wrong. That is wrong spellings makes or renders your answer also wrong. We have to clarify all this from the beginning before the user begins to what? Enter the answers for the bot. So let's quickly do that. Like I said, I've already typed my questions. So I have my simple questions here. I have 12 questions here. And some of the instructions I'll be giving to the bot, I've already typed them here. So what I'm just going to do is just to copy and paste. You can equally do the same thing just to increase our productivity, to speed up the work. Yeah. So these are the questions. Now, the next thing we are going to look at is, the question. I have 12 questions here, which means I will have 3 stages, and each stage I'll have 4 questions, just to make it entertaining. Each stage I'll have 4 questions. So 4 times 3 making it 12. And then what you'll be able to do, or what you need to do to be able to qualify from one stage to the other, is make sure out of the 4 questions in one stage, you should be able to get 3 correct. If you get 2 correct, it means you'll not be qualified to the next round. And then the bot will stop there, prompting you to start all over again. But if you're able to get 3 correct out of the 4, it means automatically, or 4 out of the 4 automatically, you are qualified to the what? Next round. So it will be giving you some instructions to follow and some codes to enter and to proceed to the next round. So basically, these are some of the functionalities our bot is going to possess after we are done creating it. So let's quickly jump right in. And then as we move on, things that we need to take note of, I'll highlight them and then we'll be good to go. Thank you. Good. So now here is our bot, and then let's look at the various costumes of our bot. These costumes are some of the gestures. It's like this costume here is like when you get the answer correct, it's like it's celebrating your victory or your success. So the hands are up. And then this one is like feeling sorry for you or something like that stuff. So let's take note of their names. We have chatbot 1D and then chatbot 1C and then chatbot. We shall be using them in our script. So take note of that. And then we have two bots here. We have the chatter and then the natter. We have stages where we'll be switching to natter and then stages where we'll be switching to chatter and all that. And this is the backdrop. And then the backdrop, we have the library as well as the outside. Maybe if there is the need for us to add another backdrop too, maybe we can add. So I think we'll be good to go in terms of that. So let's quickly see how things are going to be unfold. So I think we need to add another, what do you call it? Backdrop here, like inside a hall or something like that, so that we can be switching through all that. So let's go to backdrops and see. We get something like that in a hall. Or to the chalkboard. Or where it's going to be. We just need another backdrop to make it 3 so that we can be switching in between. So we take this one as the whole. We click on OK. So we have 3 backdrops you can be switching in between. So we are good to go. So with our charter selected and with our script tab selected, let's begin coding by snipping our blocks and then getting our bots up and running. So let's quickly start. Good. Yeah, so first of all, as usual, we know we use the green flag to start a program, and then we use the red button here or the red knob here to stop a program from running and all that. So let's go to events. Then we go to when green flag is clicked, drag it and then leave it here. Now we'll have to switch the backdrop. Initially the backdrop is set to this particular hall, so but we don't want it that way. We want the backdrop to be, let's say, outside. Yes, like this backdrop. We want the backdrop to be something like this. Let me see. Outside. So that maybe the next stage, the second stage, and then the third stage, it will be switching the backdrop to this and then the other one, the library. So that is that. But initially, we want to set it to this one. So let's go to our script tab. Oh, sorry. So with our natter selected, so when the green flag is clicked, then we have to go to looks, and then we say switch backdrop. Switch backdrop. So when you click on this little drop down arrow we have outside, any backdrop that is not listed in here is not going to be seen among the options. So take note of that. In case you click on this drop down arrow, you didn't see the choice or the one you are looking for, it means it's not imported. So you just have to import it and then get it listed in here so that you can use it. So we have to switch the backdrop to outside when the green flag is clicked, something like this. Yeah, so that is that. And then we have to switch the costume to chat. Let me see, the costume to what do you call it? This costume, right? So chat 1A. So let's go back. Say switch costume to, it's already on 1D. So we want it to be on 1A. So we have it like that. So when we click on this, so you see it has just changed. So it's just changed with the arms open like this. Maybe ready to prompt you with whatever it is. So we are now going to declare some few variables here. We need a variable to store our names as well as our scores. So you click on make a variable. Then you choose say this is going to be a name first, right? So say name. So you click on OK. So we have it here. And then the second variable is scores. Good. So you say scores. So you click on OK. So we have the name here and then the scores here. So these two variables are going to keep track of our names as well as our scores. So now we're going to set the scores to 0 because initially you haven't answered any question. So you don't expect any score, right? Any mark. So we set it to 0. So we set scores to 0. And then after that, we're going to quickly prompt you or the user to maybe say something. The board is going to prompt you to say something. So something like say, ask. So that should be in looks, right? It's in sensing. Yes, good. Ask. Now it's not going to prompt you to ask or maybe for you to say something. So it will ask you something like, hi. First of all, hi, comma. What is, let's say, what's your name? So very simple question, right? What's your name? Hi, or hi, you are welcome. What's your name? Hi. You are welcome. What's your name? So basically, that is the question here. Hi, you are welcome. What's your name? So we want to set the answer, or we want to set the name to an answer so that any name at all you enter, it will be able to pronounce this name for you, and then you see that it will be lively. So we set name to an answer. We go to variable and set name. Say what? Set. Let's click on this. Set. Okay. Set name to, go to sensing to an answer. It means that the answer that you'll be providing as your name is going to be stored in this variable name, and then it will pronounce it for you to see. So basically, the answer you give to pronounce it for you to see. So we set name to an answer that you give, but that is by typing your name. So from there, we have to switch after it's asked you this question. We have to switch the costume back to chatter or chatbot 1B. So we go to looks, switch costume, chatbot 1B like this. Good. Then after that, then that is when you finish entering your answer, then it has something to say for you. It will switch to this costume, and then it will say something. It will say, what should the bot say? Okay, what a lovely name. Then it will wait for some few seconds before the next question will follow. So it will say, wow, what a lovely name. Something like this, right? Good. It will say this and then wait for some few seconds. Let's say like 3 seconds. Good. Say like 3 seconds. But then, after this, it will then go ahead and ask you another question again. So let's try running our bot and see something. Click on this. So, hi, you are welcome. What's your name? So I'll say my name is Ahmad, right? Sorry. Ahmad. Then you hit enter. Wow, what a lovely name. So I think it's working now. This is the scripts it has just recall for us here. So we'll proceed, and then we'll see that on each stage to be able to spell whatever we instruct it to do for us. So we want to give the user some series of some tips or instructions to follow. Just the same instructions I've already read or stated to you before. Like I said, all answers must be in small except proper nouns and then acronyms. So that is that. So let's quickly give these instructions. So after that, it will say this and then it will prompt you to ask again. So in asking, it's not actually asking, but it's only telling you something. But this is the only way we can have it. So it should ask you a question like, can we test my questions are based on ICT, right? So can we test your IT skills? Sorry. Can we test your IT skills? Sorry. Skills. Then it will ask you this, and then it will be waiting. It will ask you this and be waiting. So, but before it asks this question, we want it to mention your name that you've entered. Like Ahmed, can we test your something like that nature? I hope you are getting it. So we need something like this. We need an operator to join these two strings. Join, 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 join. Sometimes you just be looking at something, you just be around here. Good. We need this operator to join our name as well as what we've just typed in here. So let me just select this and then cut it. So it will pronounce the name. So we are going to store a variable name here. So it will mention this name and then ask you this question now. It will say, just say something like, let me see. Good. So here it will just ask you, name. Can we test your IT skills? The name is what? The answer you've given. That is your real name. So it will mention your name. Let's try it and see. Hi, you are welcome. What's your name? So my name is Kofi, or let's say Eric. So enter. What a lovely name. So it will proceed with something again. Eric, can we test your wow? So there is something here. There should be a space here. So after the name here, there must be a space here. Space here. So let's see now. Hi, you are welcome. What's your name? So I will say my name is Sifas. So what is my name is? One short names lah. My name is yes, Eric again, or let's say okay, Rashid. So hit enter. What a lovely name. Then it will let's see. Rashid, can we test your IT skills? Good. So now it's working. It has just read this script for us. So let's stop it and then we continue. Now, this is just a simple question which demands yes or no as an answer. So like I said, if it is yes, all should be in lowercase. If it is no, all should be in lowercase. Take note of this. Else your script, it will misbehave. It will behave the way you don't want it to behave. So we are going to need if and else statement here, so that it will say something like, if the answer is yes, then it should continue running and then asking you to keep the conversation going. Else, if the answer is no, then quit and stop everything and then you can leave it. It means you don't have any business with the bot. So basically that is that. So we need an if else then block. So we drag it and fix it in here. So we need an answer. Let's say something here like, and then we need an operator to compare our answer, and then the answer the user is going to enter. So we fit this one here. So we say, if the answer the user provides is equal to the answer we want, which is yes, so that you can continue, then if the answer the user provides is this, like I said, please, it should be in lowercase. Yes, because Scratch is not all that. Hasn't provided with those features that you can keep track of case-sensitive letters and then words. So if the answer is yes, so it has to switch the costume to what? Chatterbot 1D. 1D, okay. So we go to looks. To switch costume to Chatterbot 1D, and then it will say something like, that's good. Let's start. And then say, that's good. Let's start. Say, and then say something. All should be in this. So it will say something like, that's good. Let us start. But before we start, we need some instructions, right? We need to give it some instructions. But before we start, we need to read some. But before we start, read. Okay, but before we start, read the following instructions carefully to be able to answer 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 all your questions correctly. This is the reason why I've just typed them down so that I can just be copying them and then be pasting, just be speeding up the work. Good. So if your answer is yes, it will switch this to 1D and then it will say this to you. That's good. Let's start that. Before we start, read the following instructions carefully to be able to answer all the questions correctly. So it means failure to read and obey instructions or take instructions means you fail. So you have to take note of that. Else, if your answer is something aside yes, it can be no, it can be something different you type, it will quit and then stop everything. So it will say else. So else, if your answer is something like anything else, so it will just say it will switch costume to chatterbot 1B, chatterbot 1B, and then it will say, all right, then have a nice day. Then it will say something like, all right, then have a nice day. Good. You should say this for at least some 3 seconds so that I can be able to read it. So after this, it has to stop all. It means it will quit the program. It means you can't continue. The aim of the bot is for it to prompt you with questions and answer so that you answer the questions. But since you decided to say no to it, it means you have no business with it. So take your trouble away from it. So it will stop everything. So let's try running our bot from this stage and see. Hi, welcome. What's your name? My name is Eddie. Eddie Blay. Wow, what a lovely name. Good. Eddie, can we test your IT skills? So my answer is yes. That's good. Let us. Oh, it has just. Aha. Oh, okay. That's good. Let us start. Let me just see. In here, this 2 seconds is too short for this goddamn bot, man. So you can scroll this and change it to, because the instruction is a bit longer. So let's make it at least 6 seconds. That I'm able to read it well. You see that the way it just appear and disappear. We don't want it like that. So in 6 seconds, we can be able to read it and then complete it before it disappears again, or it will proceed to the next level. So yes, if we were to say no, it will quit and then there wouldn't be anything to do again. So, but if you say yes, it means we have to continue now. So we have to switch costume to what? Chatterbot 1D again. Yes, Chatterbot 1D again. So now we go to looks. So it says switch costume to Chatterbot 1D. And then now it's going to give you those instructions. It's going to give you those instructions. So it should say something like, now we're going to type our instructions here. We're going to type our instructions here. And wait. Okay. So our instructions. All right. Okay. Say that's good. Okay. Our instructions should be here. We would like it to be here. So I think let's take this off for now. We want our instruction to be here. Say something. That is when it's saying something. Our instructions. Let's just go back to looks and drag this say block and fix it in here. After reading this, after prompting you with this, it will then add this again. This one should also be for at least 6 seconds. After this, we'll try it and see how it's going to work. So we say all answers must be in lower case letters, except proper nouns. English teachers know what I mean here. Proper nouns begin with capital letters, right? Except proper nouns and acronyms. Good. So with these two, we need to start every what do you call it? Letter, which is a proper noun. We need to start every letter with capital, and then acronyms as well, also like that. So these are some of the few instructions we'll be giving to our users. And also, I think that's all. It will be good to go from here. So let's run it again and see. Hi, you're welcome. What's your name? My name is Jack. Oh, Jack. Enter. Wow, what a lovely name. Jack, can you test your IT skills? Let me see. Oh, shit. Yes. That's good. Let's start. But before we start, read the following instructions carefully to be able to answer. Okay. All answers must be in lowercase except proper nouns and acronyms. So our instructions are not popping up step by step. So depending upon the way you want it to be, if the duration, which I have given 6 seconds, is too short, you can increase it to 10 or whatsoever, just to make sure that users are able to read the instructions carefully and follow them in order not to find themselves wanting. Good. So from here, we can go ahead and begin prompting our users with questions. So let's start. So we go to sensing, begin asking the first question. So I'll say question 1. Question 1. Okay, let me go to my question 1. The little pictures on the desktop that represent some programs on a computer are called. So just copy this goddamn thing here. Okay, this is a copy. Then I'll go to my Scratch. Hey. Copy and paste. It's indeed interesting. Now paste it in here. Let me just make sure I delete this one in here because I've already got. So the little picture on the desktop that represents some programs on a computer are called. There must be a question sign here. Are called what? So now we are going to give in our answer so that we'll be able to compare our answer and that of the user. So now we need an if statement to keep track of that. We need an if statement to keep track of that. So let's go to if else then block. If we need the answer block. If answer and we need an operator to compare our answer and that of the user. If the answer is equal to icons, little pictures, right? So it should be icons, not icon. Good. Yes, icons. Then we have to switch the chatbot to 1C in a form of celebration. It means you see that bot, that costume, the hands are raised, like celebrating your success or your victory, or for you getting the answer correct. And then it will also say something. Yes. Yes, and those things. So we switch costume to go to looks. Then from we switch costume to 1C. That is if you're able to get the answer correct. 1C, and then it will say you are correct. Let's continue. It will say something like that. It will then say you are correct. Correct, comma. Let's continue. Let's continue. So you say you are correct. Let's continue for how many seconds? At least 30 seconds is okay. Yes, that is if you get the answer correct. It will say this. We can also add sound effects if we want it that way. You can record your sound. You can go to the record tab. Let's say the sounds. Then you click on this ribbon. Then you record your own voice by saying you are correct. Then after that you can import it over there. So okay, I'm not going to do that for now, but let me use those built-in sounds and then use them here. So let's see. Oh gosh. Okay, let me take this sound, beatbox one, and say, okay. Like I said, you can record your own voice and say that, right? Okay, so let's go back to script, and then it will say you are correct for 30 seconds. So I prefer us leaving it like this. I prefer us leaving it like this. So you for now, let's maintain it this way, in order not to. 'Cause I didn't plan for that. I would have recorded my own voice and then import it quickly here. But now at this moment I can't do that because yes, due to some 2 3 reasons. So let's continue with that. So it will say something like that, and then we're good to go. Then if we want to add sound, we could have say something like play sound. Okay, that one will be in sounds. Say play sound or say play sound bit, but it's already there. Then it should have played it. So just drag it and fix it in here or even here. But we don't want it, so we leave it like that. So yeah. So it will say if your answer is equal to icons, which is the right answer to this question, it will raise its hand. This is the costume chatbot 1C. And then it will say to you that you are correct for 30 seconds. Else, anything else you type or say apart from icons means your answer is what? Wrong. It will say what? You are wrong. It will say before it says you are wrong, it has to switch costume to 1B. So it will switch costume to 1B. So we go to looks, switch costume to 1B, and it will say you are wrong. You are wrong. It will say something like you are wrong. Good. Something like this for at least 3 seconds will be okay. Good. So and then now that we are able to get our answer correct, at least our score should be increased by 1, so that we'll be keeping track of our scores. So if it does that, then we need to change scores by 1. If you're able to answer the question correctly, we should be able to change scores. So we go to the data and then get our variable. Say change scores by 1. That is if you're able to answer the question correctly. So change scores by 1. So let's try running our bot and see. Hi, you are welcome. What's your name? My name is Ada. Wow, what a lovely name. Yes. That's good. Let's start. But before we start, read the following instructions carefully to be able to answer all questions correctly. All answers must be in lowercase letters, except proper nouns and then acronyms. We are done. So, yes. Question 1. The little pictures on the desktop that represent some programs on the computer are called icons, right? And enter. You are correct. So our score has already increased by 1. Initially it was set to 0, but now it has been increased by 1. And our name is also being tracked here. So I think the bot is working perfectly. So we are good to go. Now, we need to do some duplication here to be able to speed up our work. Yes, so let's do something here like we need to duplicate these blocks from so after this, what we need to do is another question must follow here. So after the first question, and then you are wrong, and then you are correct, and those stuffs. So we can drag this block here, and then duplicate it. Then we can keep this one here for now. Then you drag this one and fix it back. Now you can raise this, and then you drag this one, fix it below here. So this will now give us our question 2. And all these functionalities, now make sure you change your answer to maintain this, maintain all this. So after duplicating, what we need to change is just the question as well as the answer. So we're going to clear all this in here. So we go for our second question. The 4 main hardware components of the computer, hardware component. I need to add component here. Of the computer, our monitor, keyboard, and our monitor, keyboard, system unit and dot 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 dot. Okay, so Control V. Question 2. Okay, so our answer should be system unit. So monitor, keyboard, system unit, and what else? Our answer should be what? Mouse. Good. Then after that, it will switch to this, to say we are correct, increase scores. If you get it wrong, it will switch costume to 1B and say we are wrong. You are good to go. So now what we need to just do is to duplicating and then be copying our equations and be pasting and then all that. So let's quickly do that. So just drag this, duplicate it, then keep it here, drag this, fix it in here. Then we can just drag it, then fix it, got them below. So we can clear this mess. Can now go for our question 3. All the following are ICT tools, except mobile phone, laptop, digital camera, pencil. Bam, 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 bam. Can just Control V, paste it here. All the following are ICT tools, except we all know the goddamn answer, which is pencil. Sorry. Please make sure after duplicating it, you do the needful changes. Yeah, so that is the question 3. So, good. Okay, so we now move to question 4. So, Charlie, duplication and be here. Now move to question 4. So click inside here, the backspace to clear every mess. Go for equation 4. Should we encrypt confidential data? Like I said, yes and no are not proper nouns. So they are not even anything. They should be in lowercase just to save ourselves from trouble. Because this scratch and its people there. Oh gosh. Control V. Yes or no? Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. If the answer is equal to yes, then it will say we are correct. Increase our scores by 1. Anything else we will type aside yes automatically is wrong. So that's that. Click. No. Before you duplicate, don't just do it. Just separate. Else it will duplicate the whole goddamn block for you. Good. Question 5. So let's clear this mess in here. Backspace. Question 5. Does a computer / laptop have GUI, that is GUI, that is graphical user interface, or graphics user interface? That is the question. Control V. That is question 5. Yes or no? Let's quickly change this and make sure. Please, let's try as much as possible to let our kids, our little ones, our children enjoy this. It's for them, prepare something like this for them. It will keep them in the house the whole day. They'll be learning without even knowing that they are learning. I love these stuffs. Good. Yes. So the answer. Yes. So let's check here. Should we encrypt our confidential data? Yes, we have to do that. Definitely. Discuss. Does a computer laptop have GUI, that is graphical user interface? The answer is yes. Yes, it has GUI. Without GUI, we can't be using a computer right now, right? So that is it has. So the answer is also yes. So we can duplicate from here. We said something earlier that, we have 12 questions. And after the 12 questions, you have to score 3 out of 4. Sorry? And out of these 12 questions, they are divided into 3 sections. That is, or 3 rounds. Round 1 takes 4 questions. Out of these 4, you should be able to answer 3 or 4. And so that you'll be able to qualify to the next round. Else, you can't qualify to the next round. We are up to 4 and then we are proceeding. So let's do away with this. So we now need some few instructions to see whether we are qualified to the next round or not. So let's quickly look at that. So now we are going to need another if else then statement block to be able to keep track of something here. So let me check. Okay. So after this, we are going to need another if then and else block again. So you go to control. So you go to if then and else block, and we'll fix it here. So we want to check our score and compare it to the total score of the round. Total score of the round is 4. And out of the 4, you need to score goddamn 3 to be able to qualify to the next round. Else, you will not be qualified. So let's check. Let's quickly check that. Let's go to the data. Drag our scores here. We go to operator. And then drag our greater than sign. Yes. And then drag this and fix it here. If score is greater than 3. Okay, let's say 2. Because greater than 2 means that is 3, 4, right? It's greater than 2. Then you should be able to qualify to the next round. Out of 4 there, you should be able to qualify to the next round. If scores is greater than 2, then you should be able to qualify to the next round. We have to switch costume to 1C in form of something like that. It looks. Switch costume to 1C. And then, after switching costume to 1C, then we need to switch backdrop to a different backdrop, like the hall. That is the next round. Are you seeing it? That will send us to the next round. So let's go back to our script. So we need to switch backdrop to hall. Then we switch backdrop to costume, right? Switch backdrop to, it's already choosing for us. Wow, hall. Then after switching backdrop to hall, then we have to say something. Congratulations. Or it will mention your name. We have to let the bot mention our names we've entered. Yeah, like Ada. Ada is already typed here. Ada, congratulations. You have qualified to the next round. Blah, blah, blah. Enter this code. So that we give it some code. 4-digit code that it should enter, or that the user should enter to be able to open the door to the next round. So let's look at how to fix that. Yes. So it should say something. Say the say block. This one, we need it to be something like 10 seconds. Or even 12 seconds. Yes. Just to be able to say something. So we want it to say, let's just go back to my instructions. Congratulations. You have qualified for the next stage. That is because you have scored more than half of the total scores of the round, which is 4. So you say, congratulations, you have qualified for the next stage. Copy this code. The code I have given is what? 0456. You can choose your own code and enter it to continue to the next stage. Make sure you type the code correctly. Wait for the command. Wow. So just copy this instruction. You can equally do those typings and then keep them there. Copy it and then paste it inside. Yeah. We actually need 15 seconds, not 12. Some people are with this. $15 seconds is ideal. Good. So that is because we've scored more than half of the total scores. Else, what if we are not able to score more than that? We have to, it has to tell us something, right? So what? You should be sorry. I've made a goddamn mistake. Let me cut this shit here. We want the bot to mention our name. So we need the join block or the join block. Yes, join. Yes. So we go to data. Then we drag the name before the congratulatory message comes in here. Control V. Then we can now drag it. And and fix it in. No. Oh, let me see something. Yeah, that's that. In here for 15 seconds. Say, then it will mention the name now. Then comma. There must be some comma here. Comma. Then space. Let's see. Good. So it's now working perfectly for us. Else, what if we didn't score? We are able to score more than half. It means you are not qualified, right? Imagine just because of one question, you will be qualified to the next round. That is how sweet things can be. Good. Let's see. So we have to go back to the say block. So that will be in looks, right? Come to say. It has to mention our goddamn names again. We go for the operator, the comparison, no, the join operator. Join. You like joining things? Yes, I do. Then it will say name. Then we go for the name variable. Name. Then it will say something here for us like, say, sorry, blah, 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 blah. So, sorry, you have, sorry, you need to score more than 2. I've already typed 6 here because I was working on 1, so I worked on 1. Sorry, you need to score more than 2 to be able to qualify to the next round. Try your luck next time. That is if you score 2 or less than 2. That is where you get this message. So we go back to our and then fill in here. Namespace. It's sad. It's a pitiable Bisma. Someone will say. Sorry. Yes. Join. Name. It will mention your name and say, sorry, you need to score more than 2 to be able to qualify to the next round. Try your likeness. So after this instruction, it means you are not qualified, right? Then it has to stop everything. So you go to control and then stop all. Bye-bye. Immediately you get this instruction there. Oh boy, you're going home. Can't continue again. Yes, but then what if you are able to score more than that and then you've given this congratulatory message? I think we need to try our board from this stage and see. It's like the video is a bit longer. So let's see. Let's run our boards. Hi, you all can. What's your name? Great. It's my name. Wow, what a lovely name. Great. Can we test your IT skills? Let me say no for now and see. All right, then have a nice day. Shim, everything is done. There is nothing again. So I will only have to run it again to start it. My name is Greta. Please, I'm not God, okay? Just, and I can never be God. Greta. Wow, what a lovely name. Greta, can we test your IT skills? Now, yes, I want to talk. That was good. Let's start. But before we start, read the following instructions, blah, 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 blah. I know the instructions, right? All answers must be in lowercase letters, except proper nouns and then acronyms. Yep. Okay. Question 1. So was it icons? I don't even want to waste time because God damn know the answers. You are correct. Let's continue. The 4 main hardware component of the answer is mouse. You are correct. Let's continue. All the following are ICT tools except his goddamn pencil. How can this pencil be? You are correct. Let's continue. So if I have 3, I've scored 3. Check. 3. 4. Should we encrypt confidential data? Yes or no? Yes, so we have to encrypt it to avoid. You are correct. Let's continue. Greater. That is my name. Congratulations. You have qualified for the next stage. Copy this code 0456 and enter it to continue to the next stage. Make sure you type the code correctly. Wait for the command. So I'm not waiting for the command, right? So let's see. Now, let's stop it and try scoring less than 2. So we see how it's going to work. So, um, okay. So, what's your name? My name is Food. I love food. Oh, what a lovely name. Food, yes, you can test it. Okay, okay. We have icons. Me, I don't know. I'll just say God. Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry. I'll just say Dad. Oh, I'm wrong. Oh, I'll say no. Oh, I'm wrong. Food. Sorry, you need to score more than. Oh, it's like the duration of that is too short. We need to fix it to be. Oh, 2 seconds per. At least it should be some nice to 10 seconds, so that you can be staring at it for long to know that definitely you are not qualified. Good. So that is that. I think the video is a bit longer. You can pause here and then continue at the second part of it. So until then, I say bye bye.